Good morning to you, my beloved, and welcome to the last day of the year. Isn't it fitting that we start the last day of the year on the Lord's Day, the beginning of the week? And we're looking forward to a great day in the house of the Lord at the Galilee Baptist Church. And then we're going to see this new year in. What a joy it's going to be to jump into 2024 and see what our precious Lord has in store for us. Enjoying a good cup of coffee this morning. This was brought to me, the 300 Blackout Coffee by Caliber Coffee. First time I've ever had Caliber Coffee. Brother Jonathan, who you see on the Reflections podcast, he sent this to me, gave it to me for Christmas. And I'm telling you, I'm enjoying a good, strong cup of coffee out of the 300 Blackout bag. Well, let me give you a little thought to think about today. There was a world-famous violinist by the name of Fritz Kreisler. Fritz Kreisler was born in 1875, died in 1962. He was a world-famous violinist during his time, made a fortune at it as well. But he was known for his generosity. He gave the vast majority of what he had away to those that were needy or to needy causes. One day in his travels, he found a most exquisite violin and he wanted to purchase it, but he didn't have the funds because he'd given everything away. And so he began to save and scrape and scrounge, and he finally got enough money together, went back to the seller and found out that it had already been sold to a collector. He asked who the collector was and got his address, went to his home, and he offered to buy it. The collector said, "I'm sorry, it's not for sale. It has become quite a prize in my collection, and I love it." He said, "Well, before I leave, would you allow me the privilege of playing this violin before that it is silenced in your collection?" He said, "Sure, come on." He went in the house, took the violin out, took the bow, and he pulled it across the strings. And as he drew it across the strings, the beautiful sound of the violin began to come forth at the hands of the virtuoso, Mr. Kreisler. It brought the owner of the violin to tears and great emotion. At the ending of the playing of this concert piece for this private collector, the collector looked at Mr. Kreisler, and this is what he said. He said, "I have no right to keep this to myself. It is yours, Mr. Kreisler. Take it to the world and let the people hear it. Take it to the world, sir, and let the people hear it." You know, we have something that's worth more than an exquisite violin. We have the gospel of Christ. We ought not be ashamed of it. We ought not store it in our spiritual collection, but it ought to be shared with the world. The Apostle Paul said, "For I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. For it," not your sad stories and not your horror stories, "but it," the gospel, "is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth." Share it with the world. The Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians 15, 3 and 4 said, "For I delivered unto you that which also I received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the Scriptures, that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the Scriptures." In this upcoming new year, if you want to make a resolution, be resolute about the fact that you're going to share what God has given you by way of the gospel with the world. Think on these things today, friend. Have a great day.